One Piece is still on break, but I was scrolling through Instagram and saw a post talking about characters in the live action that were done the worst. So I decided that I'm stealing that idea, but for the actual show. So these are the top characters in One Piece that were done the dirtiest. Before we start though, we got an honorable mention, which is the zombie from the beginning of Thriller Bark that Luffy straight up cooked for no reason at all. Imagine you a zombie and your whole job is to scare somebody, and you think you about to absolutely shiver somebody's timbers, and some dude with big round fish eyes stares you dead in the face and shoves you back in the dirt. This zombie is now known in the graveyard as the legendary 6 feet down clown. You got bodied.Moving on to the real list now though, we got number 5, which has got to be Blueno. And this guy would probably be higher on the list if it wasn't for the fact that nobody really cares about him. And look, we don't even really need to break it down too much to understand why this guy got done dirty. Blueno and CP9 in general were hyped up to an extreme level back in Enies lobby, and Blueno specifically had this crazy dimensional fruit, which at the time did seem crazy, until Luffy used him to aura farm his new second gear and completely lobotomized him within the span of a few seconds. This disrespect continues, and later in the story, the only other time Blueno was ever relevant at all was in Film Red, when he was used as a gag character and turned into a chibi. So I think it's fair to say Blueno went out dirty. Number 4 on the list is post-time skip Chopper. And before y'all get mad, listen, there's a reason I didn't put him higher on the list, and it's because I like Chopper. But we gotta be real, he has been trash in the post-time skip, and at times it feels like he's a background character. Now he did clutch up for a bit against Queen and Wano, but I swear that's the only time he really proved himself useful in a while, and even then, he never accomplished his mission on Wano, which was to cure the Smile Fruit's effects. You also gotta understand, some of the other Straw Hats have also kinda had some underwhelming moments recently, but I think that's due to Oda focusing more on the story elements rather than the character elements, which in my opinion is fine because we are nearing the end, but Chopper has just been getting done diabolically dirty. Now at number 3 we got Duval, and he's also a side character, so I really could have put him lower, but nah man, his case is wild. So we first saw Duval right before the Sada Baby Archipelago, and his whole character was based on Sanji's wanted poster, which was a famously ugly version of Sanji. And that's already bad enough because it's like, hey little bro, you just a ugly Sanji. But this guy's whole 3-episode arc was essentially just a canon filler arc where he gets obliterated throughout it. It gets so bad that even his bowl gets done dirty and is the first real time Luffy ever used Conqueror's Haki in the whole story. Like, that is just sad. Oda pulled out a whole future ability just to flex on this guy. Not to mention, during the whole time skip, Duval was essentially gaslighted into protecting the Straw Hat's ship just to get his ass beat within a few months and for Kuma to take all the credit. Duval did indeed get done dirty. At number 2, we got another CP9 member, Rob Gucci Lucci himself, aka Luffy's certified training dummy. I almost feel bad for this guy. Slight spoilers for Egghead if you haven't read the manga, but surprise surprise, the very people he dedicated his entire life to, the Gorosei, turned on him and made him their bitch. They for real groomed this dude from childhood into a human weapon and then made him fight Luffy over and over again just to lose every time. Like, they should know by now, he stands absolutely no chance at all. And what's even worse is Lucci had this whole training arc where he gained prodigy level strength just for Luffy to go gear 5 and essentially one-shot him. Like, that is beyond embarrassing. When your whole purpose of life is being a stepping stool for the main character, just know you got done dirty. Now we are finally here, the number 1 character in One Piece that got done the dirtiest. Useless D Mid, aka Captain Kid. And yeah, I know, it's kinda obvious, but we all know why he's here. This man Kid's whole life is being a plot device for Oda to show what could happen to Luffy if Luffy was an absolute bum with no luck at all. I'm gonna start calling this dude the Bidoof of One Piece because Oda really uses him for all sorts of plot points just for him to still be trash. For example, the biggest reason this man got done dirty: the Shanks incident. We don't even need to really go over this, but he was used to make Shanks look cool, and it's just sad that Kid lost to Ben Beckman before this, and then went and assisted Law in beating Big Mom, and then for some reason thought he could go beat Shanks again. Like, no bro, you're cooked. And not to mention the Wano situation where he got captured by Kaido and was forced to watch his best friend being used as an experiment. Then he got bailed out by the main character and got all cocky again. Like, I'm sorry bro, if it wasn't for Luffy, Kid would 100% still be Kaido's slave. So yeah, even though it's mostly his fault, I'd say he's still definitely the character who got done the dirtiest. But hey, let me know in the comments who y'all think got done the dirtiest and if I forgot anyone. Also, if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. We are pushing 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, like the vid, sub, appreciate y'all. Deuces.